Call to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Reeves.
Here.
Ms. Buckus.
Here.
Ms. Stashur. Ms. Reeves.
Here.
Mr. Patterson.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Donahue. President Stewart.
Here. Council, some very quick updates on some previously discussed items. In regards to the DEP 567 Recycling and Technical Assistance Grant, we really need to consider whether we're going to move forward with the ordinance to mandate recycling in 2016. During the upcoming week, I'll be prepared to kind of put a draft ordinance together for everybody's review, and hopefully we can bring it to the table for a vote at next Monday's meeting. In regards to the DEP 902 Municipal Recycling Grant Program, Tim, just a reminder, we do need to put a letter change together to the DEP to amend the quantity of the carts that we have purchased so that we can get our reimbursement for the $55,000 that has been spent. Actions that were taken at previous meetings, we do have now on order the new collection vehicle. We're making our way quickly to the production lines, and both GL Sayer and Grand Turk have indicated that the truck should be completely assembled and ready for delivery here at Eddystone in May or June of this year. One of the requirements that we have with the grant is that the truck needs to be clearly marked, that the monies or the funding for the truck was received from the DEP grant. What they've suggested and what other municipalities have done is actually done like a vinyl wrapping on the backside of the packer. It gives us an opportunity that, you know, we can show something that's environmentally friendly, as well as to let all of the citizens know as the truck goes around town that the majority, 90% of this vehicle was paid through a DEP grant. In regards to the fire truck sale, Tim, I did put a call into our friends at United Dominicans of Perth Amboy. Just reminded them that the truck is here, ready to be picked up. I'll also send you the telephone number so that we can make sure that there's 2 voicemails going in instead of 1. And I believe everything else is finalized, correct? Check has been received, cashed, cleared. I've marked the invoice for Municipal as paid. So it's just a matter of, and you have the title in hand, correct?
Yeah, we have the title transfer and delivery.
That's it?
Yeah, right.
Town clock. Special thank you to Councilman Patterson, who took the wooden banners from our town clock down into his basement, got out his old textbook for woodworking, and did some sanding and bonding work to restore the banners. And we have now put the banners in the hands of Sign Concepts out of Folsom, and they will be doing the lettering. So hopefully within the next week and a half, we'll have those banners back. I'll have our Public Works Department install them, and we can finally have the word Eddystone written across the top of the town clock. Tim, 2 things. The purchase is just over $200, and in order for us to be get our sales tax waived, we do need to send a W-9 form as well as a Pennsylvania certificate of tax exemption over to Sign Concepts. Sign Concepts.
No problem.
One change in our council committee assignments. I'm in receipt of a request from Councilor Tadashore. She's requested consideration to be placed on the Police and Emergency Management Committee, so I will take an opportunity over the next week, take a look at the committee assignments, and I did indicate to Councilor Tadashore that I would be able to make some changes and get her back on the police committee. So just be prepared for that change coming. The Eddystone Boys Club Council, I've got it, the nominations for the Board of Directors should be presented for a vote this coming Monday. Councilwoman Gross, I know that we left it as we had a couple people that we wanted to reach out to.
Yes.
I don't want to disclose any names
No.
as of yet, but
No.
just within the next week, if we
Yes.
can get confirmation, yes or no.
Yes.
And we will be prepared, Solicitor Duffy, to present 5 names as board members so that you can continue moving forward with the process of setting up the nonprofit organization. Website, we can continue to update the website. Mr. Glenn, if I can ask you to send not only tonight's meeting as well as a link to last month's meeting, I'll get that posted up on the website accordingly. Mr. Vicente, if we can get the meeting minutes as well. I know we made a commitment to a citizen last month that we would get the past meeting minutes up, and I'd also like to start getting into the practice of if we can have the meeting minutes from the January meeting presented in February and just continue to roll forward. This way we're not taking action of approving multiple months at a time. Council, any other comments on previously discussed items? Not hearing any. New business items. The DEP 904 Municipal Recycling Performance Grant, something that we did in 2014, which I think was well received by our citizens, was actually to give a month-to-month tabulation on the amount of single-stream recycling that was collected and ultimately diverted out of our landfills. So it is my intention to work with Tina Torres and our manager, Mr. Vicente, pull the monthly totals for recycling that went to ReCommunity, as well as what the tonnage was that went to the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority, and give the comparison so that we can come up with what our diversion rate is for 2015. And once again, I remind everybody that the goal that we have previously set for ourselves, which I believe was very conservative, was a 20% diversion rate. So continue to work through 2016. It's my understanding in discussions with our Public Works Department that every month the recycling grows and grows and grows. Council, this afternoon I sent some correspondence which gives everybody an update on the litigation associated with the workman's compensation claim filed by William Connor. The decision of the judge is attached to that correspondence. I've asked our insurance carrier's attorney to appear at executive session next week to brief everybody on the decision that was made, and we as a Borough Council will be prepared with a statement at next meeting on the results of that workman's compensation case. Also in your attachments is a proposed settlement agreement. As everyone is aware, there were some construction oversight costs associated with the construction of the crude by rail transfer station. Those construction costs exceeded what was in the escrow account, and we have been working with the folks at Eddystone Rail Company to come to an agreement to close that project out. We'll be reviewing the settlement agreement in executive session next Monday, and it is my intent that council would take vote to approve the settlement agreement at Monday's meeting. Our tax collector, Robin Henderson, the Borough Code now requires us to have a deputy tax collector that would assume the role of a tax collector in the event that for some reason Ms. Henderson becomes incapacitated or is unable to complete the function of being the borough's tax collector. And I will ask Robin to bring forward to council at next meeting her nomination for a deputy tax collector that would have to be approved by Borough Council. Chief, in regards to the hiring of the part-time patrol officers, it's my understanding that the candidates have been sent for their medical and psychological evaluations. The results of those evaluations are still pending. However, it appears as if we will get the results back and council would be in a position to make the appointments of the new officers next Monday, correct?
That's correct. Everything back for one medical report. I'm just waiting for it to come in.
Perfect.
Are we swearing them in this week?
That is the intent.
Well, then we need to send a letter.
The offer letter out.
Offer letter
Yeah.
out. Right, Ed, you wanna send a letter, offer letter out?
Yeah, you can forward it to me, Bill, I'll
Yep,
send it out.
absolutely.
Not gonna fit it for best.
Are we doing that just for the two that were definitely hired?
We can discuss it, yes. Some good news. A Citizens Police Academy is being planned. It's going to be a joint effort. The Eddystone Police Department is going to join forces with the Ridley Park Police Department, and they are going to put classes on for any resident who is interested in how police work is performed. The tentative schedule, they're looking at late April, early May, and I know that Chief Macheski has been in contact with Chief Frazier over at Ridley Park, and that they're already discussing who the instructors are going to be and what the modules or elements of education. Chief, you got anything to add on the Citizens Police Academy at this time?
Yeah, our representative's gonna be Michael Golden. He's gonna represent our department in running the Citizen Police Academy. It is gonna give residents an opportunity to see how the police department works in a small community. It's also gonna give you an opportunity to get some training, such as CPR, first aid.
Perfect. So stay tuned for additional details as the planning continues to progress. We'll certainly put the word out to the community for anybody that is interested in going through the Citizens Police Academy. Council, it's our intent to recognize the 2015 Model Citizen Award recipients. I remember back in 2014, Councilman Patterson and the group that you had assembled for Mary's House was recognized, and we have not yet notified the recipients. However, I will give one small little hint: float. As discussed at the last council meeting, we've got some street sign replacements that need to be done. I'll reach out to Gene Scott. I do understand that we had 17, 18 inches of snow this past weekend. The ground will be frozen until Wednesday, when we have 60-degree temperatures on Wednesday. So we'll make sure that we erect the no trucks except local delivery signs at the intersection of Chester Pike and Eddystone Avenue, Chester Pike and Seville Avenue, as well as Chester Pike and Simpson Street. Chief, we just wanted to, we'll have Gene touch base with you, make sure that the placement of signs are in a location that's very visible to any truck driver that may want to make that right or left-hand turn into town. And might be a good idea just to stop down to, MG Reconditioning on Ashland Avenue is regularly receiving tractor trailer deliveries just because of where the business is located. But just want to touch base with them, just let them know that their delivery drivers are going to be permitted because it is a local delivery.
Anything at 291?
Anything at 291?
Well, like the entrances into town from 291?
The issue with the 291 is the low clearance on the bridge going over the railroad track, so you're not going to see a tractor trailer come in that way.
So either one?
There was signs, whether it's faded or not now, I don't know, but every point entry into Borough, there was a sign coming east or west advising traffic patterns.
Okay.
And this is where I'll kind of lay out a challenge to our borough engineer, and Lisa and I have had an opportunity to speak about this previously, but during your engineer's report, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but I understand we've got a contract for street blades that's prepared to be advertised, but we would like to do not only an inventory of the street signs that we have out, but also to prepare a signing and marking plan. Done?
It's already done. They were supposed to leave a copy of it at the January meeting.
I haven't seen it.
The marking plan's done.
Mm-hmm.
The spec for I thought we talked about it at the December meeting, that the spec for the, both the sign names,
Mhm.
the welcome sign,
Yep.
which is the CDBG, would be one contract, and the second contract that would be bid at the same time, so that we get hopefully economy of scale,
Right,
would be for.
the replacement of the street signs.
So all I'm waiting for right now is Deb to change some language that's, Dad's name was on all of the
Mhm.
documents, so that has to get changed, and then we'll be ready to bid it, so I'm hoping that we have at the meeting,
Okay, perfect.
authorization.
And Tim, just so that you can let Joe know, I believe that the replacement of street signs, and when I say street signs, it's not the name of the street, it's the no parking here to corner, it's the stop signs. All of those signs are eligible for liquid fuel credits, so we would be able to make payment for that contract under liquid fuels. But the bottom line is that we appreciate all of the residents' patience with a lot of the faded signs, a lot of the signs that may not necessarily be in the best location. However, it appears as if we're going to make significant progress here in the next few weeks and months to make sure that we've got a renewed or restored sign on every street corner. Council, any other new business items that you would like to bring to the table this evening? In your package is the report of the engineer dated February 2016, and I'll ask our borough engineer, Ms. Lisa Catania, to present, please.
Really, the two community development block grant applications went in time, so we're in good shape there. The road program, I noticed as I pulled this up, I actually filled in that MS 399, which is your county aid resolution, that really should be on the agenda. I think it's blank, I don't know why, but, I do have a saved copy, I must have looked at the wrong one. When I set it down. Is yours filled in?
I think it's
Well,
filled in
anyway,
with the
if it's
number.
not, there will be a signed copy, that has to be a resolution of council. The other thing that I wanted to mention, because we're actually having a meeting, about 10 years ago, I sat on a steering committee for a new subdivision land development ordinance. County actually has the ordinance, and right now, council, or years ago, council adopted the county subdivision land development ordinance as the ordinance that we follow. This new ordinance that we did some 10 years ago actually is a little bit different, where that each municipality would have to adopt that ordinance. So you would have your own subdivision land development ordinance. This would only be a ordinance that, but it's interesting, it has not only new construction, but it also has redevelopment. We brought together engineers from the eastern portion, highly developed communities, engineers from the not so highly developed that are beginning to be highly developed out in the western part of Delaware County, and really put together an ordinance that will be good for all of Delaware County. That ordinance, because it was 10 years ago, the county went through and took a look to make sure that the ordinances that are cited, for example, the stormwater ordinance or the FEMA ordinance, are the correct ordinances now, because so much time's gone through. They're going to pull that back out, and there's a meeting on the 4th of February. Anybody that's interested in going to hear the presentations at 2 o'clock in the county council chambers, I'm going to be there because the initial steering committee, if they're still around, have been invited to come back, and we're going to take that through. What I'm suggesting in my report, however, is to think about who it is from your group at some point in time that is going to be available to all the municipalities. You can massage that ordinance to your liking. And it might be something for some members of your planning commission, code, possibly with our help, with the engineer and whoever else that you may think should be part of it, just to sit down and come up with some ideas of what you'd like to see in your ordinance and what you think is not appropriate for Eddystone. So it's not necessary now, you're probably looking 9 months to a year, but it's something to think about anyway. And then the last thing is the Chapter 94 report, and we have to have that into Delcora by the 26th of February. So we'll be working on that. That's for the sanitary sewer system. And I gave a report about the signs in the 2015 Community Development Block Grant. We have that ready. That's going to the county hopefully tomorrow. They have to get an authorization to go ahead and bid it from the county in order to bid that. That's all I have, I think. Unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Lisa.
Lisa, we need approval from council to advertise the contract as well, so we'll take action on that next month.
Yeah, I would make an authorization, authorize the bidding. It'll be contingent upon the OHCD. I think you want to bid at the same time, save costs
Right.
on your advertising. Usually they're pretty quick with getting back, in like a week or two, we'll get back, so we'll be able to get it in and get it in for February. For March, excuse me. It is February, isn't it?
It is February, believe it or not.
It is February, lucky us.
I don't know where January went. And before we go to public forum, I do apologize, let me back up, I was just going through the notes. At the next council meeting, we will be recognizing Patrol Officer Michael Golden. And Chief, if I could just have you kind of give a quick overview of the heroic actions that was recently taken by Mr. Golden and why we would be recognizing him at the council meeting.
Last month, Mr. Golden was on his way to work. He stopped on 291, seeing a guy was having some problems, and apparently the guy had a heart attack and wanted a cardiac arrest. So Officer Golden got out of his car. Even though he didn't have to, he went out, performed CPR, and the guy survived.
Wonderful.
So he was recognized by the Township. So we'd like to recognize him for going above and beyond the call of duty. And Sean, I'll get you the particulars to that.
Okay.
Invite his family.
Our officers will be here also.
Is he working that night? Is he scheduled to work on next Monday?
Thank you.
My schedule shifted because of the FTO program, so
Okay.
I honestly can't answer everything.
Okay. Anything for public forum? With no public forum, we'll go on to the action items that are scheduled for our regular meeting, which is next Monday, the 8th of February. We'll be taking action on the treasurer's report, cash receipts and disbursements journal. Dallas Waters will be presenting our code enforcement report. Chief Macheski will be prepared to present the police report. And Chief Walsh from the fire company will be here to present the fire report. Council items that will be added to the agenda. We'll take a look at the ordinance for mandatory recycling. And if council is comfortable with the ordinance, we'll give Solicitor Duffy the permission to advertise accordingly. Council will also put on the agenda the appointment of the board members for, I believe we're going to call it the Eddystone Youth Club. Is that correct, Solicitor Duffy?
Foundation.
Which is the 501, yeah, the Eddystone Youth Foundation. I like that, Eddystone Youth Foundation. which will be the 5013C organization. We'll take action pending on getting all of the results back on the hiring of the police officers. We'll ask our tax collector, Robin Henderson, to be prepared to nominate a deputy tax collector, which we'll take action on. We'll also take action on approving the advertisement for the contracts, which would include the Welcome to Eddystone signage, the street blade signage, as well as the regulatory signage. That would all be contingent upon approval from the ODCH. And I believe we have to take action on the county aid resolution as well, correct? Council, any other action items for next week? Upcoming events, public meetings. Next Monday will be our regular council meeting. Roundtable discussion. I'll start with the chief. Chief Jeske.
I attended a conference last Thursday with the district attorney in reference to naloxone. So everybody's familiar, we carry naloxone, which is Narcan in the police cars. There's a new delivery device that's a much simpler to use. It contains 4 milligrams versus the present 2 milligrams that we carry. The benefit of this is the old system we had was 2 vials, and you had an attachment, an ionizer on it that you had to put together, screw on before you can administer. The reason why and we carry 2 milligram amps. Now we have 4 in 1. It just looks like an over-the-counter nasal inhaler. Makes it easier for the officer to administer. There's not multiple pieces to lose, and there's 2 dosages in 1 container. So the DA has a new program with a new pharmaceutical company, and we're the first county or the first agency in the world pretty much that's using this new Narcan product. So it was a pretty big event, and I think that we'll be able to save some lives. The other thing I'd like to say is also after last council meeting, I went to the Delaware County Kennel Club, and we took Nico, and we had a canine first aid class, which say it was very, very well taken. We had about 25 attendees, and it was so good that I would ask the Kennel Club to come here, and I know we have a lot of dog owners in Eddystone. Maybe we could do a class for the community also.
Great. That'd be great.
It'd be nice to do it.
Yes, it would
Bring
be.
people together.
Yeah.
I will come. Big dog.
Mayor.
Can I say something?
I'm good.
Sure.
On the website, it still says the dog's name is Bingo.
I know.
A little outdated.
That's a street name.
Okay.
That's a
Say our cover name.
Yeah.
It's under.
undercover name. You know, when he wears a different
Can't let all their secrets out.
Yeah. We're surprised they gave that out. It's undercover name.
That's when you just look like a pug.
Okay.
Mayor.
I am good.
You are good. Councilwoman Gross.
I am good, but I also want to say, some of us attended a boot camp for council last month, and it was very informative. Learned so much. There's a lot more to learn, but the instructor was fabulous, and it just goes to show, no matter what you read, it changes all the time. There's a lot of changement going through with the book, but it was really phenomenal. It was so, I don't know, you felt like you're back in school. There was so much. We even ate through lunch.
The note taker was very good.
Yeah, it was great. And they have a conference this June that we would like to attend, at least I would, of furthering our education on what council does, who we can seek help for, and help us do a better job while we're doing council. So that was a wonderful thing.
That's great.
Is the next one in Hawaii? I'll go with you.
Yeah, I need someone to carry my bags.
Dave saw him put you up.
Councilman Patterson,
I'm good.
Vice President Reeves.
Okay, tonight.
What? Councilwoman Buckus.
I'm still looking for record numbers, that's it. I do have one for sure.
How many you
I'll
looking
bring
for?
him up. Well, we're gonna increase the board,
Right,
so I would go to 30 people.
I understand that, but
So, I think we're looking at 11,
okay.
so
What do you have now?
10. We have one more.
I have a question, I guess we'll go to Sean. Deputy tax collector have to be sworn in?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, and they'll definitely have to be bonded, correct?
And I believe the prudent thing is to make sure they go through the educational course for tax collectors. I think they have to be, it's a certification course that they gotta pass a test now to be a tax collector and
The new tax collector.
the new tax collectors.
They grandfathered in the old ones, and they wanted to, but they wanted you to, they wanted the grandfather tax collectors to take 4 courses, but they actually pushed it now to like 2017 to then when they had to start them. It's like 4 different courses that the state has.
So they don't have to take the courses yet?
Not yet, it was supposed to be done by the November of 15, but now they pushed it to like November of 17. So.
But that's the grandfathered people.
So any new person coming in would have to,
A newly elected tax collector has to take the course, yes. I don't believe the deputy tax collector has to. Just the newly elected, not the deputies.
can you double check on that?
Check right now. It's the state making money, it's $35. That's not bad, that's $35.
Junior Counselor Hastings.
Yeah, on February 9th, I'll be at the media courthouse competing with my mock trial team. I'm plaintiff, so they're gonna get knocked out. I'm gonna take them down.
What time is that, Frank?
Beat them up on the stand. It's I should be leaving school around 1:30, and it runs till about 4 o'clock.
And it's at BB, do you know which room you're gonna be in?
I will let you know. You wanna
Who are you
come
going
watch.
against?
Notre Dame.
Okay.
So, and they're good every year, so it'll be tough. But
You
yeah,
guys the information next week in case there's anyone that wants to, like to attend, and
they don't tell us until the very day before, because of like,
that's good, we have a meeting that night, so.
yeah, you're right, we did, Charlotte.
Right. I don't know.
Solicitor Duffy, anything?
No, sir.
Ms. Catania? Mr. Vicente? I will wrap up with, just a reminder of bringing the minutes forward so that we can get them posted on the website in a timely fashion. And as I spoke with Tim at the last meeting, I want to make sure that the minutes reflect the issues that are brought forth during public forum, and just so that we're able to, as counselors, to be held accountable to make sure that we follow up on addressing those issues to the best of our ability. So this way here we can almost get a tickler list together of things that need to be done. However, from the citizen side of things, we certainly appreciate your patience at times, as sometimes it takes a little while in the government process to actually bring forward your concerns and be able to take action on those accordingly. And then lastly, on behalf of council and the mayor, and I would say all of the citizens of Eddystone, we wanted to pass along our condolences to you, Lisa, on the passing of your father. He has served this borough well for many, many decades, and we certainly appreciate all of the work that he has done for us, the benefits that he's brought to this borough, and I'm glad to see that you're gonna carry on the legacy, you know, for your father, with being our engineer.
I'm going with Charles.
You and Charles are gonna
I don't-
tag team?
You know, I don't wanna have to change nameplate.
That's an easy fix, Lisa. We'll get it fixed for you, no worries.
Any other business?
We'll put Aunt Lisa, instead of Uncle Chuck, we'll have Aunt Lisa.
Any other business before I ask for a motion to adjourn? I will ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
So ordered, ordered.
Meeting adjourned.